Hello, everyone. This is Moon Goddess 777. Happy Tuesday. Giving honor to Lilith, Aries, the energies of Tuesday. That's they say 9 a.m. is the times when you meditating about spiritual battles or whatever, and 9 p.m. the color is red, orange. I just want to come up here and send everybody healing, balance, wholeness, oneness, unconditional love, compassion, and support. I know a lot of people are going through some hard times, dealing with a lot of mental issues and stuff like that. It's a lot of mental breakdowns, and it's a lot of things in our community that's pushed under the rug. We don't really address mental health as we should. As a people, we don't understand that it affects us too. It's okay to be strong, but sometimes you need it wasn't meant for you to be alone in this world. We're the collective. What happens to one happens to all. And I want to say rest in power and rest in peace to all the ones that have transitioned. I haven't been up here because I've been actually trying to relocate and get situated. It's been a lot going on in my life too. Just because we're spiritual people, we're still susceptible to the same struggles as anybody else. And it's more so because a lot of times when you're a spiritual person, you're praying and warring for the collective. Not just if you're a balanced spiritual person, you're not just thinking about yourself and your family. You're sending out healing and compassion and love and ascension, balance and wholeness to the collective. If you're really walking in the spirit in a balance, in a balanced way, and not saying whether you dealing with the left hand path or the right hand path, but it's about balance and everything. But yeah, like I said, I go through my issues too. I don't handle them the way that I used to, because I have learned about the weapons of the warfare is not physical, but it's spiritual, and like I say, I use the Bible. I said in my other lives or whatever, or my other videos, I don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. I was raised in Pentecostal holiness, so a lot of times, I'll say now that I don't really deal with the religious part or anything, but I've always been more so spiritual, and even as a child, I've also been in nature. This is the reason I'm showing this is one of my favorite trees. It's so beautiful when it's the spring and summertime, but now the leaves have fallen. But this tree, I'm telling you, I've been connecting with trees since I was able to walk. So this tree right here has really been instrumental in my healing and my ascension and my balancing and grounding and everything. And even the one that's farther back, it's farther back here. It's way on back there. And when I first started coming, I used to come out here but not go so deep back because I was a little afraid. I'm not even gonna front. People like, oh, you get scared. Yeah, I have fears too. But I got to the point where I started going back and I connected with the other tree, the tree where I have on the little short, the one where I have the food around. But that's where it's way on back. This beautiful back there. But this is the first tree. This is one of the trees, but I have trees in the other yards that I, used to play on and climb when I was little. But this is the one I started with like in the 2020 when, everything hit, a lot of things. I started connecting with this tree, and it's oh my gosh. WWW, I'm gonna have to put it in. I'm gonna have to put it in my experiences in my book. But I just wanted to send out some hugs and some love to everyone, and just tell everybody that we're all going through this. Tell y'all that we're all going through this as a collective. If you could just hold on and go within. We still going through healing, different levels of healing. We're going through these quantum jumps and stuff, and a lot of times when we're going through these quantum leaps and quantum jumps and ascending to these other dimensions spiritually and even in dream states and stuff, you might have some things going on. You might have some aches and pains or whatever. I don't know. Maybe from moderate. Some people's might be severe. Others might be more moderate or whatever, or maximum or whatever. But if you could just realize that our bodies are changing as we change spiritually and as we ascend, our bodies are trying to adjust and transform and renew itself to be able to deal with what's to come. And this is the time where it's really potent in this year that it's been the time of life, death, rebirth, and transformation. But we feel it a little more this year because we're in the Aquarius age, and the ancestors are here. I even took some pictures a few nights ago where I was just sitting out at the store and something just caught my eye. And when I zoomed in, I was like, oh my God. And I thought I was like, I know, people will say, oh, you crazy. So I tested it out. I let let some people see it, and it took them a little while. It took them a little while to see what I saw, but they really did see what I saw in the picture. It was like different characters it was like a woman with a lion. My people was like, it looks like a cat, a woman cat. It was like a woman with a face of a cat, with the locks and stuff, and you could see even the skin color. Even my family member was like, oh God. I mean, the image was, it was suspended like right in the freaking air. Like it wasn't like, it was just like nighttime, but it was like you could see the color of it was like charcoal black, had the the tribal markings and stuff, like the face of a cat, the hair, you could even see the hair color. The locks were kind of like, tinted or a little bleached or whatever, but it was amazing. And then there was some other figures that I was seeing that was similar to that and different stuff. I'm like, they're all different energies are all around us. We have to stop living in the future, living in the past, and living in the present, because it's a lot for you in the present, in the moment of the present. Like I said, it's sad when people transition. But when people pass, and in the Western world, they taught us, that you cry at death. But even in the Bible somewhere, you can look it up. If you can go Google it, it says you're supposed to cry when a baby born and rejoice when people pass away. Now that's what it says. So, a lot of times we don't realize it, but being in this matrix, being in this avatar, in this flesh, we have a higher self. We are actually dead now. And I know somebody had put the spirit box, may she rest in power, of Shanquilla. Shanquilla, it was, she was speaking from the other side. Now, it really seemed like it was her. I'm not allegedly. It seemed like it was her. But what got me is when she said, I've never felt so alive. She said, I've never felt so alive and everything. She said the sky just opened right up and took her in. But, I've had my near-death experiences. And from my experience, that's true. Because when I was at my near-death experience, I know that once I was up and I looked down at myself, I felt like, I've woke up in the middle of, as a child, in the middle of actually being up in the air. I have waken up and I was suspended in the air. But when that happened, that near-death experience, I was actually looking down at myself. I felt so free and I felt so lightweight, and I did not want to come back. I was like, oh, hell no. I'm going on. But then I thought about it. My son came in the room and he was like, Mama, we got to go to the hospital, take you to the, and I was like, oh Lord, these children ain't. So I kind of decided to hold on. You know what I'm saying? But it really felt like very peaceful. My experience was very peaceful. It was very light, like I had left everything behind. But I'm not saying that now. I'm not telling nobody to go and delete themselves or nothing like that, because that was my experience. I was not trying to delete myself. I had something going on that I didn't take care of. And it, by me being a type of person back then where I was very ambitious and I was trying to climb the career ladder, a lot of times I would be up all night, going to school, working, trying to build businesses and stuff like that. I was very into the very into the ladder of the corporate world and stuff like that. And see, I had to balance that out too. But to balance it out, I had to completely get off the grid for a while because I was a very ambitious person, and I saw that I could not be there and still be there for my children. I was married, but just because you married a lot of times, that don't mean that it's all good and you got somebody that's, gonna support you or whatever. That's neither here nor there. But a lot of times when you marry, you still like a single parent. A lot of times you got the paperwork, but it's still like you're doing everything, you're on your own or whatever, depending on your situation. And a lot of times, I'm gonna say this, that our people are not taught what marriage is really about. I'm just chatting with y'all today. I might talk about different things. They might say I'm not on the subject, but I'm just letting the spirit guide me. But a lot of times we're not taught about the meaning of marriage and how marriage is for two families coming together to build empires, to build economics. A lot of times the elite, they understand this aspect of marriage, and they are following our shit, the ancient people ways. When they marry, it's not about how handsome and tall and dark the man is a lot of times. I mean, they do want good genes and stuff like that. And it's not about how shapely the woman is, but that's a bonus. I'm not gonna lie, because we go with what looks good to us. So that's a bonus, a lot of times when they look good and got good, and we can build empires. But a lot of times they have taught us the romanticized version of marriage, of, you're going to get on this horse and ride off and have this wedding with the flowers. But they not telling you, you have to actually do spiritual discernment work to see if, that's the person that is meant to be with you. Because a lot of times what we want for ourselves and what we like, that's superficial, that's materialism, that's lust, that's superficial type stuff. But what do we need? A lot of times we tapping into the root chakra, the desires, but that may not be the mate that we really need to build what we're trying to build for the future generations and for ourselves, So I just wanted to give a shout out to y'all today and tell everybody, you know what I'm saying, that don't give up, because it has to be destroyed before it can be rebuilt. And your support is here. All you have to do is go within. Sometimes I still keep my spiritual practices of getting away and getting off the grid and getting into nature, tapping in from within. I have to. I don't want to get back too much I want to stay balanced. I don't want to get back into the world like I was, as far, you can be in the world but not be of it. But at the same time, you want to have wisdom enough to know how to deal with people and how to communicate effectively with people and build relationships. Because just because somebody might not do or worship like I worship, that don't mean we can't get together and build nothing. That don't mean we can't homestead. That don't mean we can't hedge fund. That doesn't mean, when I say hedge fund, that's meaning putting our finances and fiat and money, whatever, together to build profitable businesses and stuff. That's how a lot of the other cultures do. They call it hedge funding and stuff like that. And I've been doing a lot of research, and I've been on, studying and looking at other people's stuff. I'm upgrading my YouTube page, and I'm doing some upgrades with everything, upgrading with myself, and it's time to go big or go home. What else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, and what FTX and all that stuff, they don't want us to be sovereign. They don't want you to realize who you are, that you don't have to ask anyone, can I be free? That you can just make the choice to be free and walk. It's not just getting paperwork and saying, oh, I'm a U.S. national. You gotta walk that walk. You gotta have that confidence in yourself to wake up and know that you don't need to be control. You don't need to be governed. You govern yourself, and you belong to the supreme source, and they know we have that right or whatever, but we got to know it, and I've been, looking at a lot of information and stuff like that and putting things together, but everybody I'm gonna come back up here. I don't know if it's gonna be before I get my equipment and stuff situated, but I probably will come up here before then, because I know I know I got some traveling and stuff. I got some stuff to do or whatever, some stuff to put together. But I just want to tell everyone to hold on. It's all within. It's all within. Like the way when I started out, I didn't start out the spiritual thing in 2020, but when I first started out, it was in 2012 when something very life changing happened to me, and I realized then, that I had to leave certain people behind because they was not good for me as far as, me trying to ascend and rise spiritually and balance my life out. But I was kind of afraid, so I was still like tapping into, religion and stuff like that. But it came a point when I had to just do, the free man, the Joker, what is it where you just gotta go with zero? You just gotta jump off the boat. You know what I'm saying? You can't play both sides. You gotta be real or be still. This is what we walk. You're gonna have to walk like. Remember when if any of y'all looked at my former videos, I said you're gonna have to walk it like you talk it. You're gonna have to be real or be still. I'm a person, I can't just get all this information into me and not do nothing and not act on it. I can't, but I have to be careful because I'm such an action person. And I think I move like the turtle, but a lot of people think I move fast. But I have to actually be, because sometimes you can do things before your time. And I had a dream where the ancestors was telling me, this one recently, they was telling me like, it's not time yet. So I'll be ready to put another book out and I'll be ready to do this. And it ain't time. I got to gather some more information. That's why I have not put the other book out yet, because it was not time. But it's getting there now where I'm like, okay, I understand what was going on. But when it's time and you walking in divine alignment, everything gonna fall into place. Ain't nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. Only you can. You are your best friend and your worst enemy. Only you can stop you, only you. So y'all, this is Moon Goddess 777 on this Tuesday morning. Y'all have a wonderful day. Y'all be blessed. And like I said, if you got to get into nature, if you got to go within, if you don't know how to meditate, then you can breathe, you can start breathing deep through your nose and holding it for a few seconds and just zoning out, getting in that theta state and all that, just go in a quiet place. If you can't get in the woods and get into nature about moving body of water, go in the dark. You can just cut all the lights off and go in the dark and tap in and just go in to the point, start practicing and get to the point where you don't think about nothing. You just cleared your mind. You're just seeing nothing but darkness. If you can't get out into, these nature scenes, you can still tap in from within by going in the dark or whatever. That's where it's at. It's within you. That's where I found myself. It's from the inside. And a lot of things that I hear outside of myself is confirmation of what source has already put into my spirit or whatever. So, like I said, y'all be blessed and support Maat's Temple of Healing and Unconditional Love. We are still expanding. I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for all things. And everybody have a wonderful Tuesday. I'm checking out.